Hi guys, going to try something a little bit different with this short little clip. I'm going to be talking about rookies and the rookie fantasy value for these guys. It has some extrapolation value for dynasty formats. Just talks about how these guys are going. People are always interested in rookies. So what we're going to be doing is talking about the top 20 rookies over the last 2 weeks. Most of these are going to be deeper league sort of players, but interesting to see how some guys are going. Let me know what you think about me talking about these rookies. Of course, we're looking at per game basis over the last 2 weeks, and the number one rookie over that time is Gerren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's the number 30 ranked overall player, averaging 17, 4.5 with 2.3 blocks. He's shooting at an unsustainably high rate, 59%. From the field, including 55% from three. That's giving him almost 2 threes per game. But those blocks, they're not a crazy thing. And he's only doing it in 27 minutes per night. So there's easily another 3 or 4 minutes per game that he could be playing, assuming he could stay out of foul trouble. So, this is by no means the ceiling of Jackson. The top 20 is the ceiling, I think, for him for this season. I don't think he gets to there, but he is a pretty clear, I believe, top 50 player for the rest of this season and a 8 to 10 year top 25 fantasy guy. Some big numbers from him that we've seen. The second rookie is Luka Doncic, who is the number 35 overall player over the last couple of weeks. These are two blokes who are under 20 years of age. Doncic has missed a game with an injury, but he was back in action yesterday. 16.5 points with 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 1.8 steals, and doing it the opposite of what Jackson is, not that efficiently. 40% from the field. It does include 44% from three, which is high, but it's not on the crazy side of high. So there is some efficiency jumps that could increase there. I could see Doncic's assists coming up over his career, and he could very easily be a 20-plus per game scorer, but you can see here he's the 35th ranked player, 35th ranked player, averaging only 16.5 points. So he doesn't need to have big scoring nights or huge efficiency to be this useful fantasy guy. And like Doncic, this is an 8 to 10 year top 25 guy, probably top 15 player for many of those seasons. So this is an absolutely unbelievable rookie class. When we get to next year's rookie class, it's going to be nowhere near like this. I don't think you should have any sort of hopes to have anywhere near this quality or this depth from next year's rookie class. Deandre Aten is the third-ranked rookie at the moment, the 54th-ranked player over the last 2 weeks. He's been a little bit disappointing the last couple of games in particular. 15 and 10 with 2 assists, only the 1.1 block, 58 and 85. So he's doing basically exactly what we thought he would do. He'd get rebounds, he'd block very few shots, he wouldn't get steals, the assists would be low, but he'd have high efficiency, and that's exactly what he's doing. The defensive stuff from him has been troubling. There's been some lack of effort, some lack of hustle, and people can say, it was the Arizona system, he played out of position, and I always tried to give a caveat to that. Well, maybe he just isn't a good defender, because we saw guys play out of position, like Gerren Jackson Jr., who were good defenders in college, and maybe Aten just isn't a good defender, and he doesn't know what to do. It can come around. It does take time, but at this point, he is not a good defender, and he is not a good fantasy defensive stats provider. We'll see if that improves at any point. The fourth rookie over the last 2 weeks is the fourth rookie inside the top 100 in that time, and that's Marvin Begley Jr., the 88th ranked rookie. He's doing it in 30 minutes per night, so you might not know that he was playing 30 minutes a night before that back injury. He is coming off the bench, but averaging 17 and 10, and again, he's doing very similar things to what we thought he'd be able to do when given that opportunity. Scoring well, rebounding well, and then nothing else. 1 block, 0.8 steals, 1 assist. They're very limited in those areas, but to give him credit, he's looked better than I thought he would be, and his efficiency is much improved as well. 51% from the field and 75% from the free throw line. That was something I thought would hold him back. He's a must-roster player in 12-team leagues. I believe his ceiling is significantly below those 3 guys in front of him and below some of the guys who are coming after him as well. But it has been an impressive start for a guy who is under 20 years of age. Wendell Carter Jr. is your 5th rookie. He's the 117th ranked player overall. He's, much like Gerren Jackson, limited by foul trouble, and that is keeping his playing time down. 12 and 7 with 2 assists with a block, 49 and 85%. We'd hope those block numbers would be able to go up. We've seen him be able to do that, so I don't have too much problem with that. And the last 2 games, he's seen his minutes push back up, and tellingly, the last game was with Lauri Markkanen. He played a lot with Lauri. I don't really envisage much of an issue with Carter's minutes moving forward when Portis returns. It's all going to be about foul trouble for Wendell, and I think he is another top 25 guy in the next 3 to 4 seasons, probably not as early as next season. Your 6th rookie for us to look at is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the 122nd ranked player over the last 2 weeks. Gilgeous-Alexander's last 2 games have been disappointing, and that has dropped him back here, no doubt. 11, 3.5, and 3, a steal, and 0.8 blocks. So really contributing in those blocks categories. 45 and 81. There's a real base for him to build on here. Only 18% usage over this time as well. It is hard to get usage with Gallinari, with Harris, with Lou Williams there as well. Avery Bradley, Patrick Beverley, but I think Shai's going to stick in that 27 to 31 minute a night role. He is going to improve, and while he isn't going to be a top 50 or probably even a top 80 guy this season, he should be in that 100 range, and that makes him a must-roster player in my opinion. The next guy coming in there as the 7th-ranked fantasy rookie over the last 2 weeks, it's Kevin Huerter of the Atlanta Hawks, number 147 overall. He's started the last few games, only 25 minutes a game here. 7.5 points on 12% usage. But the fact that he's able to be a top 150 guy shows you the immense potential here. 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.5 threes, 0.7 steals, 0.4 blocks, 49 and 75%, including 44% from 3. Just bump that usage up 3 or 4%, and we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks with the artist formerly known as Taurean Prince out. Some extra usage could go Huerter's way. He can get assists, he can rebound, he can get steals, he can provide half a block, he can hit threes. I think that he has got legitimate top 100 upside. That's not by any chance a likelihood of happening this season, but he's going to have lots of opportunities. And once he gets a bit more comfortable and the team gets more comfortable with him in that lineup, the usage should spike and those other numbers will gain confidence as well. Miles Bridges is the 8th-ranked rookie, the 161st-ranked player. He's going to get an opportunity to play more minutes with Marvin Williams out. He is averaging 8 and 4 with a steal and a block and a 3, so he's almost a triple one guy. The efficiency's been okay. Lots of dunks from Miles Bridges so far this season. I think he is an interesting short-term stream guy. I think there's a legitimate chance he could take some of Nick Batum's minutes, given how much Batum has been struggling this season. He's far from a must-roster guy. Like, I think all of these other guys, Jackson, Doncic, Aten, Begley, Carter, Shai, and Huerter, are all must-roster 12-team league guys. And then we get to the guys who probably aren't, with one exception a little bit later, or a couple of exceptions a bit later on. The 9th-ranked guy is Landry Shamit of the Philadelphia 76ers, one of the best three-point streamers out there, averaging 2.3 triples per game in 23 minutes over his last 6, shooting 54 from the field and 52% from 3, which is due to come down, but he's going to get his shots off. He was a high three-point shooter at Wichita State. He's doing it now. He's got a solid role. I don't know if his overall fantasy profile allows him to ever be a great player, but I hate to use this comparison because I'm on the same team, but can he top out at some point at JJ Redick? I think that's maybe what we should be looking at, maybe a top 90, top 80 type of guy. Not this season, but 4 or 5 seasons down the track. His ability to come in and be a consistent three-point shooter has been impressive. The 10th-ranked rookie over the last 2 weeks is Mitchell Robinson of the New York Knicks. 7 games, just 15 minutes. Foul trouble, of course, is a big issue there, but he is a huge contributor in 2 categories. 2.4 blocks in 15 minutes is outstanding, and 65% from the field. He's doing pretty much nothing else, but if you need blocks, he's a 12-team league player just for his ability to get those blocks. Now, I think at some point he will start to play 24 to 25 minutes a night, and maybe he averages 3 blocks per game from January onwards, which would obviously be excellent, and that could push him into the top 100 on that number alone. But for now, he's really just a specialist. The 11th-ranked rookie is Trey Young, who is struggling, 34.7% from the field. He's averaging 13 points with 5 assists and a steal, but only 1.3 triples because he's shooting 24% from 3 over these last 7 games. He really does need to improve that three-point shooting. We knew that field goal percentage was going to be an issue with Trey, and it is a significant issue at the moment. I'm not dropping him in any 12-team formats. I'm still holding on, but you have to be able to deal with that field goal percentage, and you should have known that when you had him in drafts. The 12th-ranked guy played only the 1 game. That's Shake Milton of the Philadelphia 76ers. Very little to talk about with him. It was a garbage time special, but on a per-game basis, he slides in there. The more interesting one is the 13th-ranked player, and that's De'Anthony Melton of the Phoenix Suns. Melton had a fantastic game, started the second half against the Kings, and I think that he is a guy that you want to add in nearly all 12-team leagues at the moment. The numbers over the last 3 games are skewed because 1 was a big game and 2 which is garbage time mop-ups, but 8 points, 3 assists, 0.3 steals. He's a rebounding, assists, steals, blocks type of a guy whose scoring numbers and efficiency in the G League haven't been fantastic, but he is a definite guy to have a look at in 12-team formats and is rising up the numbers. The 188th ranked player and your 14th best rookie over the last 2 weeks is the Padawan Colin Sexton, and he's doing it in 34 minutes a night. And this highlights the concerns I've had with Sexton in his fantasy game. He's getting minutes. He's getting usage, at 26% usage, and still can't even crack the top 180. 17 points is valuable, and these are negative in nearly every other category. 0.4 threes, 4.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, zero point 0.4 steals, 0.1 blocks, 43% on 18 attempts. The 92% from the line is nice on 1.5 attempts, but just doesn't get to the line at all. And again, these are the things that when we saw him coming out of college, he scores, he does it inefficiently, and he doesn't do anything else. And that's what we're seeing happen with Sexton. I still do believe that he is a 12-team league guy, because getting 17 points per game, which has dropped with George Hill in the lineup, by the way, is valuable. And those other areas are going to take a while to develop for Sexton. The 15th ranked rookie and the 190th player overall is the Wizard, Omari Spellman. 5 and 3 he's averaging with 0.8 threes, a steal, and 0.8 blocks, which in 14 minutes is a fantastic collection of those 111 stats. He is absolutely terrible on court. His defense struggles. He's got a horrific net rating for this Hawks team. That's, it's not great. And he's had a couple of these big games, but with the Baptist John Collins back, he's just not going to get enough minutes this season to really trouble too many people in 12 or 14 or 16 team leagues. I don't have massive faith for Spellman long term. I don't think he can become a starter in the NBA. The 16th ranked player over the last 2 weeks and the 191st guy overall is Ali Okobo of the Phoenix Suns. 29 minutes, 9, 2.5, and 3 with a steal. Had been starting with Devin Booker out. I think that could be in jeopardy for the Suns' next game with D'Anthony Melton rising up. I think it's going to be an up and down situation between him and Melton and Bridges all season there in Phoenix. If 14-team leagues, I'd have him. 12, he's really on the borderline. Let's just run through the last couple here. The next guy is Mohammed Bamba at 204. He is averaging 1.2 blocks. There's no reason to be holding on to him in 12-team formats. I don't think that he is going to all of a sudden start playing 30 minutes over Nick Vucevic. Harry Giles comes in next at the 215th spot. He's averaging 8 and 3.5 with 3 assists and 0.8 steals. But with Costa Koufos back healthy, he is inexplicably out of the rotation. And then we go to the last couple of guys. Rowdy Rodion's Kurucs, who at 10 and 4.5 in the last 2 games that he's played, he has earned more minutes. Watch to see how that works in Brooklyn, whether that's Jared Dudley or Damari Carroll losing playing time. I think Kurucs is going to be a 16-team league guy within the next month or so, and I really like him as a top 100 upside prospect for Dynasty. While the last guy is the Shark, Bruce Brown, the 20th best rookie, the 227th ranked player. He's getting some extra minutes with Reggie Bullock injured, and with the Duck Luke Kennard out, although Kennard is back now. He's really doing this on the basis of his steal numbers, 1.2 steals, not doing really anything else. But those numbers can be useful in a stream type scenario. He can get some assists, but really he's shown more than I thought we'd see, and I do like him long term as a Marcus Smart analog type of player. But for now, he is just a steal streamer for the deeper format. So that is the top 20 rookies over the last 2 weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed that.